that's just YouTube for you, you know? I mean,
I see a bunch of our friends already popped in.
yeah. Just give me a
Y'all ready
minute.
for a Deep South Saturday night? Since we were on Thursday night, we kind of messed some people up. Is that supposed to be off up there? Are y'all hearing us? I all of a sudden seen a X on the.
Give me a minute here.
Do y'all hear us? Say yes or no. We'll give it a minute.
I'm trying to enlarge some stuff. Okay, I think we're there. Is that a lot much? That's a lot bigger, ain't it?
That's better.
Yeah, now we
Okay.
ain't got to squint your eyes to see what it is. Like,
Yes, they hear us. Okay.
okay.
I didn't know something on there showed a microphone with a no sign on it, and I was like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm actually having to drink something hot tonight, guys. It's cold.
Yeah, we had company today, and they came after lunch and stayed for a while, and we had a good time.
Had a great visit, yeah.
Fellowship, and let me show them right quick.
Give you can you do this now? Ah, look at there.
So Jessica came, and she brought her mom and her stepdad with her, and y'all, we just kind of had church, didn't we?
Pretty much. We had a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot of stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube.
It was fun, though. I mean,
it was fun.
We don't get to talk to a lot of people one-on-one, and so somebody's saying no, can't hear you.
I don't. Some people can, some can't. I mean, it's all about their system.
Do we have a button that we need to go up on? Nope, we're up.
Everything's loud and clear. I checked it all. It's as high as we can go. Everybody looks good, sounds good. You know, I mean, it all depends on how they have their system set up.
Okay, so I'll try to talk louder if that helps, but I'm not that loud of a person. I've got French vanilla cappuccino, and Danny's got some hot chocolate, and
yep.
So while Jessica was here, we gave her some chickens, and
we did. We gave them, was it 4 hens?
Yeah, she's a new homesteader that lives in a town close to us, and her mom came from Alabama to visit with us, and so we just had a good time, and hope to get to see more of Jessica because she is wanting to learn, and that's something that we admire in young people, and we are all willing to help them with things. And so like I told her, we didn't want her to make mistakes. At this point in the game, it's not about mistakes. We want to keep her from making mistakes.
Thank you, Chip.
The learning part is where you keep making mistakes. And if you've got somebody that can say, hey, look, don't do that, skip that part, do it this way, it helps sometimes. We had to learn, but we had years to learn. Now we need people to be able to do things without mistakes right now.
That is our goal right now, is to help people, because now is not the time to be making mistakes. If you're actually just starting now, you're really way behind the game, and it's going to get kind of tough, you know. And thank you, Raphael's Refuge. We really appreciate that. Guys, well, tonight, I mean, Wanda came in there and told me, she says, I hope you're ready for tonight. I was like, why? And she said, because the way I titled it. I'm like, well, what did you say? And how did you say it now? There are no gray areas?
There's no gray areas.
Because we can't say what we really wanted to say. We just said there's no gray areas anymore.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah. Really appreciate it. Danny, you look very tired. I am very tired.
Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you for the guidance. Because of you, I have grown sweet potatoes for 2 years. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And see, that's a superfood.
Yeah, sweet potatoes is a superfood.
If things get bad, sweet potatoes.
You can survive on sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes is one thing you can eat. I did a video this week talking about you can eat the stems, you can eat the leaves, and you can eat the sweet potatoes. Peas the same way. You can eat the peas, you can eat the stems, you can eat.
You need to clarify that. People are going to get confused.
Oh, southern peas.
Southern field peas, not English peas.
Now, English peas I'd have to look up. I'm not 100% on them. I think you can on them, but I'm talking southern field peas. You know, red rippers, black-eyed peas, pink-eyed purple holes, that
Empty
sort of
Hammock
thing.
must have jumped in here because somebody said,
Hey, Empty Hammock, long time no see. I've been watching his videos.
yeah,
He is building I don't know if I can say the word, solarium.
solarium.
Is that how you say
Yeah.
it? I'm anxious to see because he got the concrete poured today. Actually, he's pouring the concrete, I think,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. But anyway, he got concrete in it.
Yeah.
I love watching Empty Hammock. It's time for Empty Hammock needs to meet Deep South again.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you. But guys, we are in we're in a crisis mode right now because I don't know whether y'all know it or not, and I'm sure you probably do. If the Senate agrees and all votes a certain way, our future is doomed because the House went ahead and passed the bill. Now, if the Senate passes this infrastructure bill, guys, you and me both are screwed. Our children are screwed. Our grandchildren are screwed. So please, pray.
And call your senator.
Call your senator, do whatever you got to do, that the Senate does not vote to pass this bill. We had some traitor Republicans who went over to the other side and voted to pass this thing. And the crazy thing about it is the two people who helped push this bill did not vote for it.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. We looked.
I was shocked. AOC
And Omar
voted against
voted
it.
against the bill.
Y'all go figure it. Okay, now we need to move on. But
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but yeah, before we get shut off first thing, we just, y'all better be calling some senators. Hey, Permapasture. Hey, Broussards. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, that was kind of shocking. See, we went off for a second. I'm telling you. I don't know what's going on. Y'all better keep your eyes on some stuff. And Danny was just watching some of the Senate hearings.
I watch the Senate hearings all the time, and I'm going to tell you what.
If you want to see a craziness.
You want to see a monkey show? You go watch the Senate hearings. Them people up there ain't nothing but a bunch of monkeys. I'm going to tell you. Now, you got a couple of good ones. You got, and I mean, you may be a difference with me, but at least they put up a good fight. And that's Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. You got some of these people who put Marjorie Green. Some of these people, they put up a dead gum good fight. The boy in the wheelchair.
Louisiana? No, is he in Louisiana?
I forgot what the boy's name in the wheelchair is. The vet. Anyway, you got a few good ones that put up a good fight. It says the bill is going to the president to sign it now. They may have done it. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I guess they done.
I've been working my butt off because I'm going to tell you why. If you're not working your butt off right now, by the time this bill gets passed and the first of the year rolls around, you can forget doing anything. It's just probably going to be near impossible to get it done. Federal court stopped Biden's mandate today. 26 states had sued against it. I did see that.
Mississippi was one of them.
Mississippi was one of them. Arkansas came on board. I'm not sure about Louisiana, but I know Mississippi and Arkansas were.
Texas.
Different ones.
That was a bunch of, 26. But anyway, I was glad to see our state finally do something this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's going
I agree. It's going to the head monkey. I mean, I could not have said it any better. I'm pretty sure y'all better get used to it. I'm pretty sure they're going to take me down at some point. Because
I'm just trying to keep it not tonight.
I am trying to do my best to keep my composure. Because, guys, right now, I am boiling about what's going on in this country and about how stupid everything has become. And yes, we have several projects going here, and I'm working from daylight to dark on every project. I was out this morning freezing my butt off at 6 o'clock when it was still dark to get things done.
Barry said that Virginia just got saved by the conservatives. I was so proud of Virginia.
I was proud of Virginia. I told Wanda.
Barry, at least it got you guys.
I told Wanda, and I think I mentioned it on a video, that you're going to see things start happening, and it's going to begin with the states of Virginia.
Thank you, Idaho Hoosier.
Yeah.
She said she had started 9 raised beds and all. Guys, there's a lot to watch. Don't sit at home and watch ball games and stuff when you can be looking to see what's going on around. It's time to start paying attention, keep your eyes open, and especially your local people, your local schools, your local whatever.
Look,
it starts local.
What I've been watching is this. They have now given the FBI authority to go to school meetings and stop parents from talking in school meetings. And that is wrong. I don't care. A parent should have the right to stand up at any school board meeting and voice their opinion. If they do not, you should take your child out of that school.
Yes. If you can't walk in that school, it started back when I was in high school. My mom could have went into the high school at any time. But the year I was a senior, and this was 1979, the year I was a senior, they started mandating, or they passed something at the school that we could not leave campus and our parents could not come on campus without first contacting the school. We walked around, all the seniors and juniors and sophomores and freshmen walked around with big signs on had a string around and a sign for a week with a number printed across it that looked like we were in prison. And it made our principal so mad, he made sure we quit it, but we were protesting the fact that they were just shutting us down like that, wouldn't allow people. But now it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's went from that to even, the schools have barriers around them. My school was open when I was going to school. Now they have fences, locks, razor wire, gates, It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's all crazy. Artman said they are not allowed in the halls at all.
Yeah, exactly. And see, used to you could go in a hospital. Now, try and go in a hospital if you just want to walk through and browse around or whatever. You're not going to be able to do that. They're after the children, 100%.
They are, guys, they're targeting people that are 30 to 35 years old and younger. That is their thing. Their whole agenda was, by getting people to take this, was to cause a massive walkout of people, especially in the medical profession, so that they could indoctrinate the younger people that's in the college and in the schools right now and put them in their place, and they will do whatever they tell them to do because they've been brainwashed and indoctrinated into believing what they've been told. They got to get rid of those seasoned veterans that are in this profession of work because they refuse to talk and they refuse to do anything that they're told to do, and that goes against the grain. As a matter of fact, I can even tell you that they're pushing very hard to have it to where if you don't COMPLY, you will be classified as mentally unstable. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. I'm just watching some of the chat, trying to read. It's hard for me to read much because it just pops, y'all. So I may answer a question occasionally, but we won't get everything.
Broussard said the fire department, I think it's the fire department, lost 1/3 of their members, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go into a hospital. That's not what I meant. But when even a year and a half ago, if I wanted to go to the hospital and visit somebody, I could just walk in and walk around, find them, whatever. Even when, say, 6 or 7 years ago, 8 years ago or better, because Danny and I have been married 8 years. But before Danny and I married, my brother is in the hospital profession and my sister. I could walk in and go to their office anytime. Now, you ain't doing that. At least in most hospitals, just saying.
Guys, it was a blessing this afternoon to get to talk with Jessica and her mom and dad and all, because we could talk openly, we could talk plain. They understood. We talked about things that we can't talk about here on YouTube. We talked about things that's going on behind the scenes and where we're headed as a nation. I was showing Wanda some stuff here a while ago about things that are in Revelations. It talks about Mystery Babylon and how she sits on 7 hills. And most people don't realize it, that Washington, D.C. sits on 7 hills. Rome sits on 7 hills. And the funny thing about it, New York
sits on 7 hills.
Sits on 7 hills. Washington, D.C. was actually called Rome before it was called Washington, D.C. There's so many similarities there, guys. I'm telling you, we are Mystery Babylon. Be prepared to fall, because it's going, the Bible says that city, that great city, is going to fall. Something is going to happen either in New York City or in Washington, D.C. Rest assured, in the future, something is going to happen.
Okay, so you're going to have to kind of watch, because now you're into the GOV stuff with the city. I'm trying to kind of, even though I started this, I told him there's no gray areas.
Well, Veronica says, is anyone willing to speak to me about the Jadam book? Veronica, you can go online. The Jadam book is in YouTube videos. The entire book is on YouTube right now.
Yeah, if you don't get the book right now, go watch their videos. Somebody sent me a message that they were on sale. Now, I don't know where and how. They just said, hey, I'm so glad that the Jadam books just went on sale. They didn't say where. And then the next person that messaged me says they can't find them anywhere. So I really don't know. You'll have to just keep trying. Somebody's saying it is on Amazon now. So I get people all the time sending me messages. They can't find stuff, and I can click on it and go straight to it. So I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, Not a Real Farm bought hers today on Amazon. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe when you click on somebody's bought the last one and they have to re-up it, I don't know.
Make sure when you click on it, though, it's in English.
Unless you speak other languages.
Unless you speak other languages, because if you're not careful, you'll get one in another language.
We just left a party where women talked about hairstyles, men about cigars. Had to leave. Oh, really, Dee? That's all they wanted to talk about? I'm sure you were bored, silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying Amazon's out of stock, but you can get it on Kindle.
You can get it on Kindle, or you can download it, I'm pretty sure.
Was it David the Good is doing some homemade fertilizers, I think. Check out David the Good.
Yeah.
Look for these people that are doing these things, that are showing you, so that you don't have to spend so much money, because it's going to come down to fertilize. Well, somebody just said,
Urban White Buffalo Farm says, what is the big deal with Jadam? The big deal is we've been cut off on fertilizer in this nation. It's going to be very hard for us to get fertilizer in the future. The Jadam book literally shows you how to make homemade fertilizers that actually works. And it's very economical. It doesn't cost you anything hardly.
Yeah, thank you, Gerard. He said he grew sweet potatoes successfully for 3 years using your way. Mr. John said he just completed 5 hours insecticide boil on Jadam. See, Mr. John is working really, really hard to get this and to get it down. And I think in the main ingredient for the fertilizer, the Jadam way, I think there's one thing you might have to buy. But other than that, all the others
But
are
it's not
something you have.
expensive.
It's not something that's expensive
Not something
until
that's
everybody
expensive.
starts buying it. And they
Well, I guess if they figure it all out. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
There's Ron.
yeah, hey Ron.
What about chicken poop? Chicken poop's fine if you got chickens, but people who, like us, who grow big fields of stuff, we don't have chicken poop to fill big fields. And if you put chicken poop in your fields, you're going to end up with a lot of weed seeds because that's what's in chicken feed.
Thank you, Barry. See you later.
Yep. See you later, my friend. Just, you have to think about those things.
Rabbit poop is wonderful.
Rabbit poop is probably number one.
We grow fields.
Yeah.
And growing in fields, you can't raise. We'd have to have a lot of rabbits.
You'd have to have 1,000 rabbits.
Okay, so in our greenhouses, we can use these small scale things. Is Jadam scalable to use on pastures, in your opinion?
It is on the pesticide sides, and it is on the fertilizer sides.
They do big
pastures.
Go watch the videos. It's amazing. I'm telling you, you will be shocked at what they grow in some soil that doesn't even look that well. I mean, we have some pretty good looking soil.
Yeah.
And when I was looking at their soil, I'm like, how do they grow anything? You know. Jadam is how you spell it. Yes.
Yes.
So.
What have we been busy doing today? I've been busy today putting a porch roof on our new shed that we put in over at our cabin.
I hope to have a video up this week on that. But we spent the afternoon with Jessica and her mom and
yeah.
I did want to show this.
This is a dear friend of ours, Mr. Charles, called Old Alabama Gardener, who passed away this past week. A whole library of knowledge, very dear friend of ours, passed away. And guys, we would just like for y'all to remember his wife and their family in your prayers, please.
Thank you, Chrissy. Yeah, I think we talked about it Thursday night.
We did. We talked about it Thursday night.
For those of y'all that did not know that, you know, Mr. Charles helped quite a few people. He was known for his comfrey. He gave away, I don't know how much comfrey. And he just, our comfrey came from him.
We got ours.
One section of it, we've got two different kinds, but one of it we got from him, 5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago. So he's helped a lot of people. I learned how to can okra because of him. And a lot of people say that's where they learned to can okra too.
Yeah.
Let me show them right quick before we get in next topics on stuff. But
this is what the field of Red Ripper peas looks like today.
we are going day to day right now because of the deer. We are every day we get up and go, well, did they get in it today or last night? And y'all, we put the bone sauce out and stuff, but yet it's still, will they get in it tonight? Every night it's one of those things. But these things are beautiful. Let me show you up close. Thank you, Sarah. Look at these peas.
This is what they look like right now. They're not at the stage of drying yet, but they are getting really close. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just be honest with you. We have this in a video coming up, but I'll go ahead and tell you now. If the, I think it's going to be for us, it's going to be the 16th and 17th of November. We have a massive Arctic blast coming down in the United States. And remember me telling y'all here a while back about the gas wells being fired off out in Texas in order to make that jet stream drop really, really low to make those windmills turn out there? And it's going to be bringing freezing temperature to central and south Texas, on across central and south Mississippi, central south Alabama, and then it's going to go all the way out into the Gulf, all the way down to almost to Cuba. Southern Florida is going to have temperatures in the 40s. Guys, y'all remember me telling you that? It is now coming to fruition. they plan on freezing and flooding out central Texas, central Louisiana, central Arkansas, central Mississippi, and back up through West Tennessee up through that way. And it looks like they're making it happen.
Yeah, so we're going to get some good cold weather. I even shut my greenhouse down last night. So it's time for some deer hunting. Well, we kind of want to hold off a little bit on the deer hunting, but we just don't want them in our peas either. We're hoping they will dry.
We want the peas to dry, but if we can't get them and it's going to freeze and we're going to lose them,
we're going to can.
We're going to pick up every one of them in that field and we're going to can them. I mean, we're holding out.
We want to be able to sell seeds because we told people we
would.
Sale.
I thought we would have them in time. But guys, the weather is just not cooperating. But right now, in the morning, it's going to be 39 here. 39 won't hurt them. It's not going to help them, but it's not going to hurt them. But now if we get down to 35, it'll frost at 35 here because of our humidity.
All right, so Jay Thorpe wants to know when to start sweet potato slips. Next year.
It's going to be next year, but it's going to depend on this weather that we're having. We usually start ours in
February.
We put them in the ground in late February, and we usually harvest them by the end of March or 1st of April, sometime like that, to get them in the ground.
Can we take them when they're purple looking and hang them in the greenhouse to dry? Or have they got to start into the drying
They've
process?
got to start into the drying stages in order for them to be mature enough.
Now, my nose is itching. How many of y'all talking about me tonight?
Let's see. Dirt Rider says, Weatherman Plus is a great channel possibility of major snow in the deep south. As a matter of fact, central Alabama, central Georgia, all across there is going to have snow. Tennessee, North Carolina, all those places up through there, you're going to get snow.
Now, Starla's asking about, they're going to have a wild hog to butcher. Will your method of curing, smoking, bacon, and sausage work with the wild hog?
Yes.
Deer, whatever.
Yeah, yes, it works with it.
Is Kentucky going to get that cold blast too?
Yes.
Can you heat the greenhouse and save the peas? My peas in my greenhouse are almost played out. Mine are fixing to come out. I've got English peas. I'll do a video shortly this week when the English peas get up, but they're popping the ground. I still have, your carrots you planted in there are coming up. So I've got cold things now that they just don't need to freeze, but they're okay. How much meat would you get out of a 200-pound hog?
That depends on the breed of the hog and who's doing the cutting. Because the wrong person cuts up meat, they can waste more of it. The right person cuts it up, you'll get more meat out of it. But average, I would say, out of a 200-pound hog, you'll probably get 150 to 175 pounds of pork out of it. Now, some of it will have bone in it and some of it won't. Oh.
Yeah, so when I wrote this title tonight about there are no gray areas, I really was thinking a lot of things. One was gardening, one was religion, faith, having faith in God. One was just food storage. You know, I told Danny, I said, there's not any gray areas anymore. You either are one way or you're the other. You can't sit on the fence any longer, is what I was really thinking about. Is people that have sat on the fence for a long time are now being forced to choose one way or the other. There's no gray areas anymore.
Right.
And that's what I was thinking when I titled it what I titled it. I didn't know where Danny would go with it, but for me, that's what I was thinking. It's time that people take a stand one way or another. No matter what you believe in, it's your belief and you need to take a stand for it, is my thought. Permapash says, I couldn't agree more about who cuts it up. I just took the carcass of a deer that had at least 30 pounds of meat still left on it. Somebody must have brought it to
They just whacked at it. They didn't cut it up.
When in a previous life, when I had a what do we call it, a meat house. We processed deer, and we took everything off of it. I didn't do the cutting, but we hired a guy in to come, and I mean, he literally, you held the bone up, looked like somebody had took everything. It was a bone. There was no meat left on it. I'm telling you, he took everything off.
Yeah, it depends on, well, first of all, the breed of the hog. First of all, we're talking about how much you're going to get off of it. And then who's doing the cutting. Some people can be extremely wasteful. Me, I look like, I don't even know if a buzzard would mess with a carcass after I got through with it. Because I try to get everything I can. Now, she gets a little aggravated with me. She goes, I don't know if I want that piece of stuff in my meat or not. Look, I'll whittle all of it off of there. Because I look at it, when you run it through that grinder don't know the difference.
Yeah. Well, I'm more picky. When I do meat, there's certain things I throw out. I don't put it all in there, but I probably waste more. I'm a waster.
How long do you age your meat? It depends whether it's a cow or whether it's a pig. If it's a cow, I like to do 7 days. A pig, unless you've got a cooler, you better not do it more than 24 hours because pig will ruin really fast. It'll sour on you because around the bone mainly. What we do is we put ours in an ice chest and fill it full of ice, and I drain the water off every so often, and I'll add salt to it a lot of times because salt will help pull the blood out of the meat and make it more of a, actually has more of a better taste to me if you ask me.
Now, Eagle Lover said he planted 200 carrot seeds 20 days ago and nothing's up yet. Do I need to replant? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you need to replant because it doesn't take but 7 to 14 days for carrot seeds to come up. And if you follow our way of doing it, you should have pretty good luck.
But you need to check it 6 days.
Yeah.
And if they're not up, but definitely by the 7th day they should be up. This came from NC Farmer.
Yeah.
Brandon. And these are blacktail diamond watermelons.
They're icebox melons.
So NC Farmer, we just got a few things. I just almost forgot it. He sent some 4 o'clock seeds, fuchsia. How do you say that? Fuchsia?
Yeah, fuchsia.
Greasy beans. Wasn't that something you told me?
That ain't greasy beans.
That don't look like greasy beans. It looks like Greasy greens.
Greasy greens.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say
that ain't no bean.
Greasy greens. Okay, and he sent explanations on this too, on what kind of greasy greens it was. Because I looked at it and I'm like, that ain't beans, but it's greens. Just because Wanda can't read.
People want to know, what is our thoughts on the volcano? Well,
I'm glad I don't live there.
I'm glad I don't live there. First of all. Secondly, I went online. They got a site you can go to look at the east coast of the United States and down in the Gulf of Mexico. If that thing was to slide off like they said and create the tsunami, which I don't know if it's actually possible for it to happen that way because of the depth of the ocean. But I looked at our place here at 50 meters. If there's a 50 meter tsunami hit, our place would be okay. But if it's a 100-meter tsunami, they're showing on the map that we would go underwater. So
okay, thank you, TLWKY. Greasy, CREASY. It's Greasy.
Okay, I'm just listening to you. I ain't read nothing.
Well, it looked like a G. You see that? Well,
it was,
the seeds are
falling. It was a seed.
The seeds are not there anymore.
Yeah.
It don't look like a G now. It says C. Greasy. Greens.
Yeah, Greasy greens.
Okay, so now we got that. Thank you.
Yeah.
He said they grow wild where he's at.
Oh,
okay.
wow, okay.
I'd never heard of them, and he sent an explanation for it, but I just hadn't planted any yet.
The big issue with the volcano is they're talking about bombing that thing to change the lava flow. And I'm going to be honest with you. They got new vents opening up almost a mile away from it. It's not another volcano. It's just other vents opening up. Guys, I don't know. This thing, it just keeps going. And with these coronal mass ejections and happening on a weekly basis now, it seems like, and CERN firing off over there, being into the grand solar minimum part of it. All these things are playing a part, plus living in the end times. I mean, the Bible says there'll be earthquakes and famines and pestilences. All these kind of things are happening. They're having multiple earthquakes every day, and they're getting stronger. And now they're both shallow and they're deep, which means that something is about to happen. Now, I don't know what. I guess we just have to wait and see.
Well, I mean, at some point, all of the Bible has to come together. Whether it's now or 50 years in the future, it's all got to come together. And if you read what's going on there, could it happen now? Yes.
Yeah.
It could have happened 100 years ago. Yes. It could happen 100 years from now. Yes. But just keep your eyes open, because to me, I think it's awesome if I was living in the latter days of an age where I could see what was going on the next part. But it's also scary, and it's also going to be a trial. It's not going to be a fun place to live.
Weatherman Plus showed a grid pattern of earthquakes. Mark might have. I mean,
a lot of people showed that.
A lot of people have shown that. Guys, that grid pattern is something that I don't think I'd be that concerned about. I'm not going to go into depth with it here because I already have at one point. It's not anything I'm worried about, I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so Paula's asked, and she watched the video on canning ham that we had smoked. Can I can store-bought ham the same way?
Yeah. Yes.
A lot of people don't like to can smoked meat for some reason. I don't know what the deal is. I've read it before, but it doesn't come to me right off. But we had our own. Well, we didn't smoke it. We had it smoked by the butcher because we didn't do the hams. But I cooked it, and it was way more than we needed. So I just sliced it all up and put it in jars and canned it. And I open it up now and take some of my relish that I made and make ham salad, and it's awesome. It's a great way to have a quick ham salad in 5 minutes.
Are you going to have sugarcane available on Etsy next year?
We'll see.
We'll just have to see. I mean, it's getting where I don't know from year to year now. I'm telling you, guys, I don't even know where really to begin tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. There's so much stuff going on out in the world right now. Wanda and I are not making a lot of videos. I'm going to just be honest with you. We are so busy trying to get things done. I honestly believe we've got like 4 to 6 months before something massive happens to where we're not going to be able to do things that we normally do. I'm going ahead to the building supply places now, and I'm buying all the material that I think I'll even need next year to do projects with. And I'm just storing them. I'm trying to get as much stuff bought up and here where it's tangible, where I can lay my hands on it, and I'll worry about building it later on. I'm just trying to get it all here now. The only thing is, we're stocking up on, I'm going to tell you things we're stocking up on. One of them is propane. We're trying to make sure we got as much propane as we can, because propane is going up by the minute, not by the month or anything anymore. It's going up by the minute. Gasoline is going up by the minute. It doesn't matter what you look at right now. Either you cannot get it, or if you can get it, it's in limited supply, and it's going to get outrageously expensive in the very near future.
Hello, Grizz. How are you?
So make sure you stop, sit down, think about what you use on a daily basis. Now, Wanda and I, gasoline is one of the things, believe it or not, I use more gasoline in the Ranger, in my tractor than I do in my automobiles.
Yep. Our cars and trucks don't go anywhere.
Our cars and trucks, if we spend $40 a month, I would be shocked. We just don't spend any money in gas for our vehicles.
Okay, so somebody wants to know about eggs. I have frozen eggs before. What I do is I take usually 2 eggs and put them in a bowl, stir them with a fork, just mix them up really good, not too much, but just kind of 3 or 4 times, and pour them in a Ziploc bag. I do snack bags. I put 2 in there, and then I lay them out flat, freeze them on a tray, and then I take a gallon Ziploc bag and put all the 2s in there, 2 in a bag, and put them in a gallon Ziploc bag. You can take them out, you can bake with them, you can make omelets, you can make scrambled eggs. Great way. We freeze dried a bunch of eggs this year, and you can dehydrate. I've never dehydrated eggs, but you can do that.
There's so many things going through here I would like to answer. I mean, they're just going through too fast.
Where do I order chickens or baby chicks? What kind should I get here? We ordered from Mount Hatchery.
Yeah, we ordered from Mount Hatchery. It depends on what you want to use them for. If you're looking for just egg layers, the ISA Browns are going to be your best bet. If you're looking for meat birds, then you're going to probably want to, which ones did we get for the meat birds? We got the, what did we get for the meat birds?
The white ones.
Cornish cross.
Yeah, Cornish.
We got the white Cornish cross for our meat birds. I was thinking about that other breed, but I would not go with the other breed. I would go with the white Cornish cross. If you're looking for if somebody wants to know what's the best canner for a beginner, I would probably say what was yours, a 16 quart Presto?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 16 quart Presto is probably one of the best.
Somebody's asking, is a Jersey cow crossed with Dexter good for meat?
Yes. Matter of fact, I have one. That we're fixing to either have butchered. If we can't find somebody to buy him, he's going to be butchered.
Well, I've done made my mind up. He's our next.
Wanda's made her mind up.
We ain't getting rid of him.
He's going to the slaughterhouse, huh?
This week, if possible.
Okay.
We do. Let's see. I'm trying to think. What is the best kind of rabbit?
What's the best kind of rabbit to get? Depends on really. I mean, good meat rabbits are the Fleming, New Zealand whites. I mean, they make a good rabbit. There's about 5 or 6 of them right there that's really good meat rabbits. We raise the New Zealand whites. We've got friends that raise the big Flemings. It all depends on what you.
What field peas do we grow? Well, right now we've got red rippers.
Red rippers.
We had
pink-eyed purple hulls. We got
Dixie
Lees.
I planted black-eyed peas.
Yep, the black-eyed peas.
That's all this year. I have a variety stashed, and we don't plant all of them all the time. We plant different ones different years. Zipper creams is some that we planted. I don't know. Did we plant them last year? I believe.
Yeah. We planted some zipper creams last year.
What happens if one spouse cannot participate? To all or death. I'm not sure what that means, but anyway. You do what you can do.
You do what you can do. If your other spouse is not participating, you just keep doing what you need to do, and at some point, maybe they'll come around.
We had a guy here this week that talked about that. He was divorced.
Yeah.
Even when he was married, he was always stocking and preparing, and he said his wife was not on board. They divorced, and he said when 2020 came around, he still had his stash, and said she called one day, and she said, I guess you're sitting there not worried about anything. And he said, nope, tried to tell you that's what you needed to be doing. That's what we're talking about. Don't be waiting, sitting around going, wow, I remember Danny and Wanda had food. I wonder, I'm sitting here starving. No, go ahead, do it now.
Yeah. It's
how to thaw eggs. When you take them out of the freezer, I just go ahead and put them while they're frozen over in a bowl and let them sit at room temperature 15 minutes or so, and they'll start thawing out, and just kind of take your fork and scramble it a little.
There's not a large amount of turkeys in the grocery stores. In the years past, there's been full of them. Turkeys have gone from about what was the price we looked at?
A while ago, I saw a post, $28 last year for a turkey. This year, 55.
$55
If
this
that's
year.
true, that's outrageous. That's double price for a turkey. I told it. Danny looked at me and he says, I said, don't worry. I got turkey in the freezer. I got some turkey in jars.
Yeah,
we're good.
We got plenty of turkeys. Now, it may not be cooked the traditional Thanksgiving way.
Nope, but it'll be cooked.
But it'll still be cooked turkey.
Yep. We still have some. Can you freeze milk? Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
I used to freeze my goat milk all the time and sell it frozen. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
I used to freeze regular milk when my kids were little. I'd buy several gallons and put some over in the freezer and take it out and let it thaw out. It doesn't hurt milk.
What's the best way to store seeds for long-term storage? Cool, dry, dark place. Make sure those three things happen. Cool, dry, and dark.
Okay, so somebody says, I meant if only one dies or is incapacitated, how does the other carry on? How to prepare for that? That is something that we talk about all the time.
I've been in that position.
Yeah.
I have had a spouse pass away. I was prepped to the hilt for everything.
You had to take care of everything before she passed.
I had to take care of everything before she passed. I bought all the groceries. I've done all the cooking. I've done all the medical care. I've done all the administration of drugs, shots, everything that had to be done. I did it.
Plus the gardening.
Plus I had to go out and take care of milk the goats, take care of the gardens, pick the gardens, can the gardens, everything. And when she passed away, nothing changed. I still had to do everything that I was doing before, except I didn't have to take care of her part of it. I didn't have to take care of her.
So you learn how to adapt.
Yes.
And overcome.
Yes. Can you freeze butter? Yes, we freeze butter all the time.
Okay, now some people are saying Walmart had them for 98 cents a pound, so I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Stash them. And you can butter. I have done it.
Yeah.
The problem is, I was talking to a lady today. She's had 3 fails. She did it twice, and she used the same type butter I do. But she did add salted butter into hers. I think she said she mixed them. I don't remember. But anyway, she's tried canning it in a pressure canner and the way I did it, and she's had 3 fails. And that's a lot to lose. You can't afford to do that. And she said she followed it step by step. And I don't know with canning butter. I've done it 4 times, and I've not lost any until this past time. And I think I've lost 2 or 3 that I did last year. So I don't know if it's the lids, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going on. So I'm not sure with that. I've not canned any this year. I've not taken it out and done anything.
Let's see. North Carolina News reported cranberry salsa berries in the can may be limited or none. They can't get cans if they can't. But we knew that one of the can factories went out of business this past year, and that probably has a little bit to do with the shortage, plus not being able to get anybody to work. That has a little bit more to do with it.
Yeah. Making ghee is one of the better ways if you're going to want to can butter.
Now, when we say canning butter, first of all, we're not talking about pressure canning.
Now, a lot of people are showing that, and that she did try that twice. The lady
but pressure canning will ruin your butter.
Yeah,
usually.
I think that's what happened.
It will. A lot of times, it will caramelize it, and it's just not good.
Yeah. Somebody said buy clarified butter, and it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be refrigerated.
Right.
I've not checked into that. I did buy from My Patriot Supply. I did buy powdered butter. Now, you can't freeze dry butter as far as a home freeze dryer. It doesn't work that way. I don't know how they powder butter, but they do. I don't know how they powder peanut butter, but you can get it, and it works just fine. So in an emergency situation, I have powdered butter stuck up. Just saying.
Okay, they want to know the name of your channel again.
Crazy Days. DAZES.
CRAZYDAZES.
Saddle Ridge put it up. I put some hard candy in jars with my vacuum sealer. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And I thoroughly think y'all need peppermint. I'm just saying, peppermint's something y'all need to be stashing.
One of the number one, especially if you get sick. Anytime, a lot of people say they do their food in 5-gallon buckets. Well, let me tell you something. Anytime you do a 5-gallon bucket, put in a bag of hard candy in with it, because you will need some kind of sweet to go along with whatever you're eating. And without sugar, the brain does not work.
Is it okay to dig sweet potatoes after a frost or freeze?
Yes, you better, because they will ruin, because the stems will sour and it will go all the way down into the potato. So yes, after a frost or a freeze, get them.
A lot of people saying they bought the powdered butter, the powdered milk. I have powdered butter, powdered milk, powdered eggs, powdered peanut butter, and powdered honey. And just in case. But we have our regular honey that we use, and we've got a stash of it. You know, Danny likes the the spun honey.
Yes, I like spun honey.
And so I have some spun honey, and it's great. I love it on toast and stuff like that. So I keep some of that to preserve flour.
How do we preserve flour? You can do it. You can do it 2 different ways. You can put it in the refrigerator for you can put it in the freezer for 2 weeks and take it out, and it'll last just fine. Or you can put it in jars and oven can it, and it will last even longer.
Yeah. I think you can. I think some people will vacuum seal it, but you really want to make sure you put it in the freezer. And when you put it in the freezer and take it out, let me say this, because a lot of people will take it out of the freezer and try to oven can it right then. Do not do that. Take it out of the freezer, give it a few hours to acclimate and get to room temperature. Don't take cold flour and start doing something with it.
Right.
And 2, it could have some moisture in it. So don't turn around and vacuum seal it immediately after taking it out of the freezer. Anything you take out of the freezer, give it time to acclimate and for any moisture to absorb that might have gotten on it, because there is moisture in the freezer.
Someone said they never heard of spun honey.
Oh my.
If you have never had spun honey.
Do I need to go get spun honey? Hold up.
I'm going to tell you something. If you have ever tasted spun honey, you don't want real honey anymore. I mean, spun honey is real honey. It's just been spun. And I'm telling you, it is the most amazing thing.
A lot of companies are coming out with it, but this is the original that we first got, because we had bees on our property, and the guy come and brought us honey every year, and he brought us the first spun honey we had about 4 years ago. And where am I at? Well, my hand won't go the right way.
Back away from the camera. You're too close. There you go.
Sous bee, spreadable. It's called spreadable, but it says spun clover honey. This stuff is amazing. It is like peanut butter, just about it.
It's about like peanut butter. The consistency of light, creamy peanut butter.
See?
It won't pour out.
I know, but I can't get it where the light will. Y'all see that? Well,
it's
trying.
That's spun honey right there.
Isn't that amazing? It's kind of like soft butter.
Yeah, it's like real soft butter. So it's kind of like almond butter.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be refrigerated.
Yeah, you don't have to refrigerate it.
Danny likes it on just about anything. He'll put it on his sweet potato stuff, sweet potatoes. I like it on toast and bagels and things like that. It's good in oatmeal. You can use it any way you use honey, but I love a peanut butter and honey sandwich. And this way, honey stays on the bread.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite ways to eat it. It's peanut butter and honey sandwich.
It's really, really
creamed
good.
Honey. Yeah, it's the same thing as the companies now are calling it creamed honey. I think that's what I saw. I knew there was another name. Creamed honey is what it is, I believe.
Yeah.
Urban White Buffalo Farm says his local honey guy makes it for him. Yeah, they're starting to get into that because they've figured out that people really like that and will eat. You'll eat this faster than you'll go get a spoonful, and it's dripping everywhere.
Where do you purchase spun honey? Well, the bee guy brought ours originally to us, but you can go online. You can order it. I mean, we order ours online when we need some, and we usually get it in large quantities so that we can keep it stored up. That probably come from Amazon, didn't it?
Or Walmart.
Or Walmart, Amazon, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. And it's made in the USA. Just saying. But I ordered some, it's called white honey, from Uzbekistan or somewhere over in
Uzbekistan. Yeah.
And
thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. It is some good honey. It is a clover type honey, and I've been eating that in my sandwiches, and I really like the white honey too. I did not know there was such thing as white honey. So
Aubrey wants to know, what is the best oats for long-term storage in Mylar bags? Steel cut, old-fashioned, 1 minute, etc.
Old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned steel cut oats. You got to come up with a taste for steel cut oats, because one thing is, in a crisis situation, you're not going to be able to cook steel cut oats because they have to cook for so long. You're going to want an oat that's not what you call quick oats, because that really isn't oats. It's just byproducts and pieces of oats. You're going to want the old-fashioned oats because they cook in about 4 to 5 minutes. You've got them pretty much done.
Alicia says, I take it I missed the faith part of the stream. Oh, well, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I did tell why I named it that. Things were coming in at me. But it's time for people to take a stand, whether it's faith or on your religious faith or anything else. You got to walk out on faith now. And we believe that wholeheartedly, that you can't be on the fence anymore, is kind of where I was going. You can't sit on a fence and be part of both worlds. You got to be one or the other now.
Do I let my last tomatoes dry on the vine to save seeds? No. I have a video up about how to save tomato seeds on YouTube. Just Google it, and it'll tell you exactly how to save your tomato seeds for next year. It is the professional way to do it.
Somebody's saying Coach's oats cook in about 5 minutes, and they're delicious. I like the old-fashioned myself, but I can do the quick oatmeal if I have to. I'm not crazy about the instant, but I will eat it in a pinch. And I've got some steel cut. And like Danny said, it takes a while to get used to it.
It takes a while to get used to steel cut, and then it takes a while to get them cooked.
Yeah, I cooked mine in a crock pot. I cooked a whole bunch of them, and then I put them on a pan and froze them. I cut them into squares, and now I have squares about yay big and about that thick. And when I want the steel cut oats, I put all my seasonings in it when I cooked them, and I lay them out the night before. And when I get up the next morning, Danny shoves them in the toaster oven and heats them up.
Somebody's asking, do we have problems with beans and rice? They said they have moths getting into all of theirs. No, because all beans and peas and stuff like that rice has worms and insects and all that in them. We put them in the freezer for 2 weeks. Then we take them out, let them come to room temperature. Then we put them up.
Yeah, well, people aren't going to have a choice. They have to make a stand now. That was my thought.
The time for choices is over. You have to do what you're going to do now. You can't sit back and say, well, I might do this or I might not do that. That time's over.
Angela, thank you.
That's completely over.
Yeah, you can't sit on the fence. That's all I can say. There's no gray areas.
No, there's no sitting on the fence anymore. You've either got to do it or you got to comply. I mean, you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do one or the other. Gail says it's best if you can soak the steel oats in the fridge overnight before cooking them. It helps. And I agree with that. I agree with it. The problem is, if a SHTF or LCE happens, you're not going to have a refrigerator to put them in, to soak them overnight in. You're not going to have a way to keep anything cool unless you have a spring house or something like that. So you're going to have to learn to adjust what you eat.
Yeah, and two, it's really, everybody needs to prepare like you're going to have a cold winter. That seems to be the biggest thing on YouTube and in the news, and everybody's jumped on this dark winter. Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
Okay, even if nothing happens, it's okay, but you need to have some warm clothes, warm blankets, warm jackets, whatever, socks. You need to think ahead, have that ready in case, even if the power only goes out for 1 day or 1 week. You could freeze to death in 1 day if you are not warm enough, according to where you live. I mean, I don't know where 90% of you live, but here in the South, I'm not that worried about it, but we do have some warm clothes. Lots of them.
I'm going to have to say something here because it keeps popping up in the comments. And this is a very hard thought. And you got to realize our country's been really soft for a long time. I'm going to answer a question here. What's an LCE? I term the phrase LCE because I don't like saying SHTF. LCE is a life-changing event.
Danny started saying that
I started that
ago.
many years ago. A life-changing event can be anything, But the question keeps coming up, and we see this every week in every video. What do I do if I don't have the money to prepare? And guys, I'm gonna have to just say I'm gonna have to say it. Not everybody's going to survive. There are people who just not going to survive, and
even people that are prepared.
Even people that are prepared will pass because they didn't prepare for the one thing that they didn't think about.
Yep.
Because nobody is immune. At some point, we all make bad decisions, including me. Mm-hmm. And the one thing we can die from, you can be prepped to the hilt. Mm-hmm. And hypothermia can take you out.
Yep.
A cold can take you out. You can nick yourself with a rusty nail.
Thank you, North and South. It's
better and end up with, and get taken out. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can have a simple accident. You can trip and fall down, hit your head on something, get a concussion. You can die.
Or you could get sick, like stomach viruses or pneumonia or
infections, anything. A kidney stone that won't pass. I mean,
you could be in child labor. Just for you young ones, you could be in child labor and not make it. I mean, that is a real thing. Because if you can't get to a hospital, there's things that happen. So you have to prepare yourself that you may not make it. Even if you're prepared to the hilt. I mean, prepare your mind that you may not make it.
People don't think about something. I mean, for instance, people say, well, I'm just going to garden this year and I'm going to use horse manure. Horse manure is the highest carrier of tetanus. Most people don't realize that. Tetanus is in the dirt. But horse manure is one of the highest carriers of tetanus. You can have a nick on your hand or a cut. You can get tetanus from stuff like that. I mean, we just have to live close to God, like today is our last day, because none of us are promised tomorrow.
And somebody said, nobody's escaped death.
Nobody
is going to. It's this modern world that thinks I'm going to do all I can to live forever. I mean, of course, in the back of your mind, you're not living forever. But 99% of the people think they are entitled. I'll put it that way. They are entitled to live to an old age. And most of them think 80 to 90 years old. Nobody's entitled for any day. I mean, today could be your last day.
Yeah.
Right now could be. Nobody's entitled to a long life. I mean, I don't know why we get that in our heads that we are entitled to live a long life and we do everything in our power to live a long life. No, you live day to day.
You live day to day.
You have dreams for the future if they happen.
If they happen, but nobody has ever escaped this thing called death. Nobody. Well, the exception of 2 people were taken up, but that was a rare instance. But you know, it always amazes me how many people ran out and got this right here because they were scared they were going to die. And yet, everybody who got this is going to die.
One way or another.
One way or another at some point. And that's the one thing that has blown my mind since day one, is how fast people reacted out of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And fear is not from God. I mean, you've just got to accept the fact it's not from God. The Bible says it is not from the God. It is from the devil. And I don't even know how else to say it. I mean, I have said it till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
And I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, we are, every so many years we enter a new era in this country. And right now we're going into the era of AI. Mm-hmm. All the people in the world who think they're going to hide from the government, or they're going to hide from this or that, guys, it's not going to happen. Any financial transaction you do is going to be recorded. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no way to hide anymore. They have satellites that can find you in a split second. And that's why I haven't ever figured out why all these murders, they can't figure them out.
They can find anybody, anything,
they can find anybody on the face of the earth, but they can't find out who murdered somebody off on such and such a road out there in the woods.
Or they can't find somebody that ran from the law, especially these guys with a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Okay, them guys are a dime a dozen. You can find them somewhere. You know, I don't know. They can find any. I mean, if I went to town right now and spent $50 too much, they could have the law at my office sitting here 5 minutes later. But yet, they can't find. I don't see how they can't.
It's beyond me. People think they can come on the internet here, and because they got a VIP,
they got a fake name and
all. Nobody knows who they are. There's a program I can put on this computer right here. I can go straight to whoever you are. I don't care what VIP you got. Oh, they say, well, mine goes into Texas, and from Texas it goes over to China, and from China it goes over to France, and there's no way you can track that. AI
yes,
can track everything.
And if it was invented, somebody knows how to do it.
Yes.
Believe me, they can break into it. Just like our computer. Somebody can break into it.
Yeah.
They can break into your computer. I don't care how safe you are. People get bugs all the time. And we had what was the one comment this week? Somebody kept on saying, I'll use cash. Nobody will know what I buy. I'll use cash.
That is not true.
Explain cash.
That is not true. If you walk into somewhere like Walmart and you buy a $25 item, it can be a $10 item, it can be a $5 item, it can be a 25-cent piece of gum. They know exactly who did it. They know when they done it because they have cameras in Walmart that does facial recognition. That facial recognition is tied in with that register. At exactly the same time that register made that transaction, it took a picture of your face. Your face goes into a facial recognition file. They know who you are. They know what you spent. And
what you bought.
And what you bought. There's no hiding.
Yeah. And I guess people live in a fantasy world. They think they're going to be able to just sit on their homestead, raise their stuff, and just nobody mess with them. And that's about as false as it comes because for whatever reason, unless you're just barricaded in and now at some point you may have to go out for something. Or at some point somebody's going to come in. You're going to have people around. You don't live in a bubble by yourself. At some point, you're going to need somebody else, and then that's when you got things going on. So you got to make your mind up now. There's no gray areas anymore. Yeah, walk into a store and use cash. There's 30 cameras already seen that.
I mean, it's if you drive down the highway, a camera has seen you.
Yeah, don't you want to know how they can send you a ticket in the mail?
Yeah.
You just ran a red light. Gosh, a week later you get a ticket saying you ran a red light.
I mean, there is no escaping. Why do you think in Revelations it says those who don't fall down and worship the beast or the mark or his number will not be able to buy or sell? Do you think anybody's going to escape that who's here? No. AI can find you anywhere, anyhow.
Yeah. Well, somebody's saying the Amish stores don't have any tech in their stores. But in the future, they're going to shut down anybody, anywhere. They're already working. It may take them 10 years to get to that point. Do you realize that we're already 3/4 of the way there? I mean, nobody uses cash very much anymore.
Right.
Most everybody's swiping a card, so they don't think nothing of it. You're on the computer ordering, and I'm guilty. Do it all the time. Danny and I are quickly working our way toward getting out of that.
Well, first of all, they're going to cut out cash.
Yeah.
And as soon as they cut out cash, they'll make it where
it's illegal.
It's illegal to own it to start with. Then that's going to be the first step. When you start seeing them, and we're going to a cashless society, there's already places we can't pay certain bills at certain places with cash. But we're going to use it as long as we can. Let me put it to you that way.
Yeah, that's why we are. We're trying to use it as long as we can.
And most places won't give you coins and change back anymore. They round it up.
No, and our power bill rounds up.
Yeah, we round our power bill up every time.
Yep.
And talking about hiding in the woods is almost impossible. Yes. They can find you wherever you go. I mean,
sensors.
Well, first of all, if you have a driver's license, a lot of them have, the newer ones have a tracking device in them.
Yep.
I mean, any kind of
If you're going to hide, take the driver's license out of your
pocket. If you're going to hide, don't take your wallet with you. If you do, take everything out of it but the change and the money you need.
I mean, even your credit cards, lots of them have chips and different things. Who knows what's in that chip?
Don't take your cell phone with you.
Yeah, go out in the woods with a cell phone. That's a smart one.
How about precious metals? No, I do not invest in precious metals. The only thing I would buy would be some silver. And it'd have to be pure silver, 100%, 99.9. And I would not use it for financial gain. I would use it for medicinal purposes only. Because in the Bible, it says they will cast the silver and the gold into the streets and they will curse it because they cannot eat it. So it's not worth it to have gold or silver unless you want it for medicinal purposes only.
Did you say not to stash money?
No, I said cash. If you have money, get cash. Get it in small bills. Do not do $100 bills or something like that. Do 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s or something like that. Big bills will do nothing but get you in trouble.
You know how hard it is to go in the bank and give them $1 million and get 1s, 10s, 15s, and 1s, 10s, 5s,
Well, first of all, you got to have that kind of money to get it back.
I can just see, okay, I need a truck out back, and we're going to put $1 million in the back in 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I'm just being, trying to break the ice, but still,
Yeah.
I was seeing somebody taking $1 million in there going, I want to cash this out, please.
Let's see. Let me get caught up here.
You want money because it will be good for a while, but they're eventually going to work it out where they say you need to cash it in, just like old cars.
Yeah.
Oh, the one thing I want to tell them what I saw. Now, you've talked a lot about, we ain't going to say the 5 thing with the after a while G thing.
Yeah.
But Danny's talked before about lead paint and that they took it out of houses. Okay, it's been what, 20, 30 years ago?
1985 to 87, somewhere along there.
Okay, they took it out of houses many, many years ago.
They took it out of house paint.
Out of the paint, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on my cell phone this week, there was a news article came up that they are now requesting that everybody go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace, and get you a test kit for lead paint. Anybody that lives in an older house, older than that 1990 or 1985 or something, go get these test kits because it's very dangerous and you need it out of your house. Did I not tell you that?
Yep.
They are definitely trying to get it out of
Yeah, they want it out of houses because lead paint is a good thing. It is not a bad thing. People, they put up this thing, well, what about babies who gnaw on crib things? Look, that was a cover-up scam from day one. Lead paint prevents the letter G and the number 5 from being able to penetrate your house and see what's inside it.
Are we concerned that the government will confiscate the preps? That's always a possibility because there is a law in place.
There is a law in place, been around since the Civil War, as a matter of fact.
And in wartime, they can do whatever they want to do, and we do know that. And if they do, there's not much we can do to stop them, but we do know our area, we know what we have here, and we know how to raise more. That's our goal. If they come after it, we'll start from scratch. You know, as long as we're still alive and we got our brains about us, we know how to start from scratch and start over. You can't always plan on everything. So sometimes you have to start over.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about this all the time. A hurricane could come through here or a tornado and wipe us totally out. If it does, we start over. The problem is when people sit down, whine, cry, and say, poor me, and they want somebody, whether it's insurances, government, or whatever, to bail them out, or family. A lot of people want family to bail them out. You got to pick yourself up, get back on your feet, and work as hard as you can. Work from scratch. It's not good to depend on somebody else all the time.
And a lot of y'all asked me, I want to say this, a lot of people came after me in the last video when I talked about if this bill passes, they're talking about charging taxes on cattle and pigs. And they said it's not in the bill. Yes, it is in the bill. The bill is over 2,000 pages long. And the comment...
Front and back.
Front and back is over 4,000 if you count the back.
Mm-hmm.
They said, well, I Googled cattle and pigs and all that. Google is not going to work with you when you're trying to find something. You've got
everything.
If you think you've already been tricked, if you believe that you can Google something and find it, because I actually, and I don't know if we can put the link in here or not, for that senator talking about the cows and the pigs and can we do that or not? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can we show it on here?
Let me see if I can find it quick.
I get so tired of people thinking that you don't know what you're talking about. And it's just because they don't look, I reckon. I don't know. But I'm afraid it's going to get pulled down before it's...
Representative, it says, it's on Facebook.
Can you expand it?
No, it's going to take it out.
It's going to take it out. Is there anything on there that people don't need to see on your phone?
Let me see how I could do that.
Will it come up this way?
I just was wanting to hide a name. No, it's not going to give it to me where I can do it. But it's on Facebook. It's REPKAT CAMMAC. CAMMAC, CAMMACK. That's it. It's a video. Nancy is forcing a vote, all hands on deck. Pelosi is forcing a vote to try and SAL. And then it's got numbers. But Congressman Kat Kamek. Somebody put it up. That's who it is.
Yeah.
She was talking about this. They got the bill Wednesday evening or Thursday evening, and they had to vote the last night. I mean, they pushed it through. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
They pushed it through in less than 24 hours. They handed them the bill on the day before they wanted them to vote the next day. And she had 4,000 pages to read, 2,000 front and back. And y'all know those bills are full of crap. All 4,000 pages.
Yeah.
So
it's there. I'm not going to sit here and spoon feed and baby feed everybody when people can look up their own information. I have to sit here and spend time to do this, and it is very possible. And I'm not going to comply. So
I don't know if that's the number of a bill. I think that's a Facebook number that's on here. It was passed. All you got to do is look up bill that was passed last night. It was passed late last night.
yeah, there's no way anybody's read that whole bill yet.
No.
There's no way possible.
No way.
No way possible.
There was six
Democrats
voted against it, which would have caused it to fail if the 13 Republicans had not voted for it. The 13 Republicans pushed it through. That's what I'm saying. Because there was 6 Democrats didn't even stand with their party. That's crazy.
Well, the Republicans that didn't stand with their party are Democrats who couldn't get elected unless they ran on a Republican ticket.
Yep. So y'all have to look it up. I mean, it is easy to find, but if you're looking for certain things and certain words, what I found out, the way it's worded doesn't say cows, pigs, chickens.
Well, it's not actually in that bill. It's in the new Green Deal.
Yeah, it's part of it, but it words it as emissions. Okay? The way they word it, they are putting a price on emissions. And the way that it's explained is anything that puts emissions into the air gets taxed. And so with the new Green Deal, guess what? The emissions is cows, pigs, whatever.
Yeah.
So when you look it up, they're going to say it's false information that they're going to be taxing those. And then you're going to hear a Democrat say, but we didn't say that. We did not say cows and pigs, but they left it open so they can add that in. And that's where the discrimination's coming in. It doesn't word it saying cows, pigs, whatever. They've left it wide open because it's all wording.
Methane emissions, yes.
Yes.
Starla.
That's it, methane emissions. Even humans calls it, yes.
Yep.
And they're going to tax us at some
point. Of them more than others.
Yes.
Depends on extremist, and I know it. Danny has to give me a wrench.
Gemini, they're saying that we have...
He's a troll.
Oh, Gemini got it, or got one anyway.
Yeah. It's just a troll.
Yeah,
if I don't know you, you don't get a wrench.
Yeah. Does that mean all the politicians hot air? I'm not sure.
Yes. Green Bill is being pushed by Bill Gates. That should scare people. Oh, I agree totally. I've heard that gas and electricity will go up 30%. You'll be lucky if it's just 30%.
Gemini's here. She's trying to catch it if there's something going. There, somebody named Wanda. Thank you. Those stinking cows. That's true. Danny actually said the word a time or two, and somebody says, I can't believe it. I was like, well, it's true. Our cows walk around all day long. I don't think they're hurting our air.
Where did we find the list of the 13 backstabbers? It's right there on the internet.
I typed in. All you got to do, who voted against the bill, who voted for the bill. The infrastructure bill. You type in who voted for the infrastructure bill, who voted against it. There was 6 voted for it. 6 Democrats against, 13 Republicans for. Swap sides. In other words, these guys swap sides. So, yeah, and one thing that's in there is
let me say this. How to say this? Guys, you're not being controlled by the government. I want you to think about what I'm fixing to tell you. It is not the government that you have to worry about because the government does not rule over you. Corporations rule the government, and therefore it is corporations that is trying to pass everything for you to live by, not your federal government, but corporations are doing this. Your federal government is just a puppet on a string. Major corporations are pulling the federal government's strings. Let that sink in for a little minute. There is no such thing as a role of government anymore. It's all done by corporations now. So think about that for a moment. When you sit back and you think about, oh, the government is doing this and it's doing that. No, it's not. The government is nothing more than a puppet on a string that is being told by massive corporations worldwide what it can and cannot do. Mm-hmm. That is where we're at today. The government's not going to pay you a salary in the future for your retirement. All that's done through corporations. And the first thing, that's what we have to realize today, that corporations like pharmaceutical companies and all this kind of stuff is
food companies,
all these kind of things, that's what runs the country. The insurances, the Bill Gates of the days, the rich people are the ones actually pulling all the strings worldwide, not the government.
Yeah, and let me say this before we actually get off. Y'all can be putting your prayer requests and things up, but if something happens that Danny and I are not on here, they pull our channel for whatever reason, you can find us on Crazy Days. We will pick up there. We're almost to 200,000, and we want to thank you guys for coming on and supporting us. We want to thank you for helping us get there. And if we hit 200,000, they don't pull us down, we'll do a giveaway. Crazy Days is almost at 20,000. If I get to 20,000 in the next month or so, then I will do a giveaway over there. We also have a website. It's deepsouthhomestead.com. You can also find our podcast on our website now. We also have podcasts up, and Danny will be doing those. We're doing 2 a week. He usually talks on Mondays, and then on Fridays I put up an old Porch Time if I can find one that I think's really kind of interesting. And because most people don't go back and watch old Porch Times because some of them only have 2,000 and 3,000 views on them. So some of them I can't do too much with because of dogs barking or wind noise, but some of them I can. So I'm trying to pick and choose. So there's ways to find us if something happens. Plus, we have deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com. You can always email us. I'm getting so many emails till it's crazy right now. So, anything else? Seems like I'm forgetting. Jessica asked today that we pray for her daughter.
Yeah, Jessica asked we pray for her daughter.
And she had another special request. And we do want to remember Mr. Charles's family. I had one other thing. Before we take off, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
These 2 beautiful young ladies. I want to say happy birthday to both of them. They're my daughters. Amy's birthday is November the 9th, and Maggie's birthday is November the 8th. And they're 7 years apart. I didn't have them 2 days apart. But my oldest was born first on November the 9th, and 7 years later, my youngest was born on November the 8th. So I want to say happy birthday to both of them today, because sometimes Mama gets sidetracked and forgets. But I'm going to really try hard to tell them on their birthdays, but I thought I would say happy birthday tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, so now, prayer request. Anything else? I'm trying to think who I've heard ask this week. We've been so busy and people ask all the time different things, and I won't remember names. I can't. I could remember a lot of names when we had 1,000 subscribers, but now it's kind of hard. No doubt those are your girls. Maggie is like, I know, I'm sorry, but she is.
I'm sitting here just kind of read the things as they go by.
Some have the sickness.
Yeah, and they're carriers. I agree with that. We try not to stay around jabbed people if we can help.
Let's see.
And I have seen the one go by about my tractor. Don't think I hadn't seen it. I have seen that. I've seen it come up several times. And I have seen it about the belt.
The pulley.
The pulley. Yeah, I've seen that. So you show your daughters and get buffered.
Well, I've got gorgeous daughters. What can I say? YouTube don't like it. How do you spell the name on your page? Crazy, C-R-A-Z-Y, Crazy Daze, D-A-Z-E-S.
What do I think about telling kids they have superpowers if they get this mosquito bite? I think that would be horrendously lying to them because you're really cutting their life short.
This is also the people that tell their kids that Santa's real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I mean, I never agreed to lie to kids.
No, we never look. I never told my kids that there was a Santa Claus. I never told my kids there was an Easter Bunny or anything like that.
Now, they knew there was somebody who dressed up like that, and they knew.
Well, they knew it, but they never believed in it.
They didn't believe that he brought gifts. They knew Mom and Daddy did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry if I'm busting bubbles, I'm sure. I don't believe in teaching kids that there's a tooth fairy and things like that.
No.
I think they should know the truth, and it's okay to be, I guess, to have an imagination. I get that, but they have to know the difference between imaginary and real.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's about time for us to.
We have some with cancer and different things.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It just bothers me that so many people are going to get ill here in the near future, and it is. I don't know what to say about that. I told Wanda, I said, the one thing that we pray about is that if anything happens, we'll be like the Apostle Paul was at the shipwreck, when the poisonous snake bit him as he was gathering wood up for the fire, and he slung him off into the fire, and he was not affected, and the people feared him after that because he should have died. And what we do is we pray for the Lord's protection over our bodies should something unnatural happen.
Lou, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. I'm sorry, honey.
And Alabama Gardner's, what?
I know, that's what I said.
Santa isn't real?
I said, I'm sorry, Lou. I'm busting her bubble.
Yeah.
I can't read all of them.
They went by so fast. Yes, John Hendrickson says the deaths are already rising. I agree 100%. And it's only going to get more, and guys are going to cover it up. They're going to blame it on something else. So be prepared to be lied to.
Dee said to pray for her mouth that there's a disconnect between her brain and her mouth.
I have the same problem. Stop. I've got the same problem, Dee. There's that great disconnect between here and here. Even though they're only about that far apart.
It just slips past. There's no filter. It don't stop it.
Wanda is always, when we make videos, if Wanda didn't edit those videos, I probably would be in trouble.
Yeah, he said something a week or so ago that I cut out. If I hadn't, he got a lot of comments anyways, but there was something I said that I know a lot of women would have jumped on his case.
Yeah.
He said it before he thought.
I do.
And I cut it out.
It's like a lot of times open mouth and insert foot. I mean,
it's what went through his mind, and that's
yeah.
what he said, and I totally cut it out. If I hadn't, we wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I'm pretty sure about 99% of the women would have shut him down.
Probably so. Not that I mean, I don't have a...
It wasn't ugly.
It wasn't ugly. It was the truth.
The way he said it.
It was just the way it came out. And I can't...
And probably about 90% of the men.
Probably true.
I have to include men in that one too, because that would have been... Yeah. But anyways, one day I'll tell y'all what it is. When Danny passes on and that we are into the memoir stage, we'll talk about things that he said that he shouldn't.
One of these days we'll have when we decide that YouTube is no longer for us, or we're fixing to be kicked off of YouTube or whatever,
or we'll
have a bloopers video of all the things I said that I probably shouldn't have said.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh man. Okay, we got to pray. Father, we're so thankful tonight that you've been good to us once more through another week. You've given us life and you've given us health to be able to make it through the week, Lord. Most of all, I thank you for opening our eyes so that we can see the things that are around us. The thing that really comes to my mind, Lord, is in Scripture where you said you will hide nothing from the elite. The elite will be able to see and to know all things. They'll have discernment and stuff to this nature. And not the elite, should I say the elect would be a better word you have in Scripture. And Father, you also said, if the days had not been shortened, that even the elect would be fooled. But you also tell us in Scripture that not everybody is the elect. And that is what amazes me as to how many people out there claim to know you as their Father, and yet they are not in the elect. Many people, the Apostle Paul said, are still drinking the milk when they should be eating the meat. And Father, that's where the difference between the elect and the babies come in at. And Father, tonight I want to thank you that we have as many people as we do that fall into the category of being the elect ones. I think we have some on our channel here that are the elect, and I appreciate that. And because of that, I want to take time tonight, and I want you to, Lord, I want to pray for everyone here who has physical issues tonight. There were so many physical issues popped up there, Lord. It would be impossible for me to mention each and every one of them. But I'm asking that you meet their needs. I know one said they had broke their arm this week. I saw that go through the line. I pray for them, Lord. I pray their arm can be healed. And people who's had surgeries this week I saw, I pray that the surgery will heal up quickly and they'll be able to be back about their daily routines. And Lord, I know personally people have sent us messages asking us to pray for them because they're suffering from anxiety and depression and these different things, which we know that these CMEs are making a lot of that kind of stuff a lot worse. But Father, I want to pray for them tonight that they can find victory, because that type of stuff is from the devil, and he's the author and the father of it. And I'm asking for them to have power over that. Lord, I'm asking for finances to be given to those who need it. If they're going to be using it for the right purposes, then I pray that they can be blessed financially, Lord. And Lord, there's just so many needs out there tonight. The children, Lord, I just want to pray for the children tonight. And children trust their parents. And so many parents are throwing their children out there to get the mosquito bite and not even thinking about the consequences to that child's life, sacrificing their children, Lord. And Father, that disturbs me when I see that and I hear that. And there's nothing I can do about it, but I do want to pray for those parents to have their eyes opened and to be enlightened about what they're doing to the health of that precious child. And Lord, I saw in the comments to pray for our country. And Father, you've done told me our country's bowl of iniquity is full. It's going to be punished. And so I'm not going to pray for the country, Lord, because you've done told me you're going to punish us. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pray that all these wicked people up there that are making all these wicked laws to suppress everybody, I'm going to pray that you take them out and you take them out of power. You just, Lord, you just remove them because they have no business being where they're at. And Lord, I'm praying that you can put someone back into their positions of authority that will do a lot better job of turning our country back to you, because I know Israel in the Bible many times failed, but yet it would turn back to you and you would receive it back to your own. And Lord, I don't know if you would be kind enough to do that for America or not now that you're going to judge it, but Father, I would pray that you might find in your heart somewhere to be kind to us and allow us to come back and to seek your face, Lord. I know we're going to have to go through some hard times, but if this is not the end, then please grant us another chance to be able to be able to come back to you as a nation. Lord, I thank you tonight for all the ones that was in the chat. I pray a special prayer and a special blessing upon each and every one of them tonight, that we might be able to be better servants of yours throughout the remaining days of our lives now. We ask these things in thy name. Amen. Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's go. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for all the super chats.
All the super chats tonight, guys. We want to tell you how much we really appreciate it.
Y'all don't know how much we really appreciate all of y'all. And we've been doing Saturday night for 5 years.
Yeah.
Pretty close to 5 years. And that means for 5 years we spent our Saturday nights with you guys.
Yeah.
The ones that wanted to pop in. And we've talked many times about quitting our Saturday Night Live, but we feel like this is the one time that we can sit down with y'all and feel like y'all are here at our house with us. And we have a good bunch of people here. We seldom have trolls. We get one occasionally, and that's okay. We have some really great moderators, and they usually handle everything just as quickly as they can. So we want to thank our moderators and thank all of y'all for joining us tonight. And, it's
before we leave tonight, don't forget to set your clocks back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not that it's going to make a big difference.
No, it don't make any difference to me. I'm going to wake up the same time anyway.
Y'all, he let me just chill till 8 o'clock this morning.
Wasn't that crazy? I let her chill till 8 o'clock
We went to the cabin, and usually by 6:30 he's out the door and, gone. He did come over and feed the animals and came back.
I did come over and feed the animals.
We just chilled till nearly 8 o'clock. It's like 10 till 8 or something. And he goes,
yep.
I ain't getting nothing done. I got to get out of here. So we are taking some time and chilling and doing stuff, even though we're working really, really hard. And we will have some videos up. I've got the grits video to go. I mean, I've got it edited. I just got to get it on YouTube. So maybe this week y'all get grits video. You'll get a little bit about the little building. Not sure. My greenhouse on Crazy Days. Sometime this week I'll do an update on the greenhouse. I do know that. If y'all have, I don't know of anything else. We're pretty much caught up right now,
except for the projects here. We've got a lot of projects going on we're trying to get taken care of. But
yeah.
Other than that.
Y'all stay with us. We got a few things coming up in the future. Always going to have some things doing.
I'm like D. I guess I'll be awake at 3 o'clock in the morning instead of 4 now.
What project? We had a little building moved in as a garden shed over at the cabin, and Danny he's put a floor and a roof over it now, and you're gonna start working on solar. So we're gonna have a solar video probably sometime next week, maybe.
I've got stone for the fireplace that's got to be laid.
Yeah.
I got to finish the 3rd high tunnel. I've got another massive project going. I've got a barn that hopefully or something other I'm going to be doing here. It just all depends. My barn needs a lot of work done to it. It's so messed up. It just needs cleaning out. All that needs doing. I just got tons of work. We got a lot more hay to be delivered.
Yeah.
Fruit trees has got to be moved. One high tunnel's got to be set up for gardening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, we'll be busy. We don't ever slow down.
Yeah.
But you know, we try to pop in on Saturday night. That's our thing. We try to. And next week's gonna be tough because you're gonna be sound asleep, aren't you? I'm gonna have to wake him up.
Next week's gonna be hard on me.
Y'all gonna see. I'm gonna flip it on and show y'all sleeping Danny at 8 o'clock
At 8
because
o'clock,
it's really 9 o'clock.
Because it's really 9 o'clock. Yep.
You see them eyes drooping?
It's gonna be hard.
Night, guys.
We'll see y'all later. Whoa, what did you do?
I don't know what I did, but
that kind of messed with my head a little bit.